The world watches in horror as conflict erupts once more. Images of violence and suffering fill our screens, a stark reminder of the fragility of peace. In the face of such turmoil, some voices rise above the fray, calling for a new crusade, a united front against the forces of darkness. But is this the answer? Can we truly achieve peace through a modern-day crusade? The very word crusade evokes a complex and often troubling history. For some, it represents a righteous struggle against oppression, a defense of faith and freedom. For others, it conjures images of bloodshed and intolerance, a dark chapter in human history. The Crusades, a series of religious wars waged between the 11th and 13th centuries, cast a long shadow over the relationship between the West and the Middle East. Motivated by a complex interplay of religious fervor, political ambition, and economic opportunity, the Crusades saw European Christians embark on a bloody campaign to reclaim the Holy Land from Muslim rule. The First Crusade, launched in 1095, ignited a wave of religious zeal that swept across Europe. While the initial Crusader armies achieved some military successes capturing Jerusalem in 1099, their victory was short-lived and came at a terrible cost. The Crusades were marked by brutality and bloodshed on both sides, leaving a legacy of mistrust and resentment that continues to resonate today. The Crusades ultimately failed to achieve their primary objective of maintaining Christian control over the Holy Land. In the wake of the horrific terrorist attacks of recent years, some commentators have drawn parallels between the Crusades and the ongoing conflict in the Middle East. They argue that radical Islamists, driven by a similar religious zeal to their medieval counterparts, are waging a new crusade against the West. While it is undeniable that extremist groups like ISIS and Al-Qaeda exploit religious rhetoric to justify their barbarity, it is crucial to avoid simplistic historical analogies. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict, for instance, is a complex issue rooted in historical grievances, territorial disputes, and political aspirations. To reduce it to a simplistic clash of civilizations or a modern-day crusade is not only inaccurate, but also counterproductive to achieving a lasting peace. The modern Middle East is a region grappling with a myriad of challenges, including poverty, corruption, political instability, and foreign intervention. Throughout history, people of faith have turned to prayer in times of crisis and uncertainty. Prayer offers solace, strength, and a sense of connection to something greater than ourselves. But can prayer truly be a weapon for peace? Can it change hearts, heal divisions, and bring about reconciliation? Others argue that while prayer may provide personal comfort and inspiration, it is not a substitute for concrete action. Whether or not one believes in the efficacy of prayer, there is no denying that faith can be a powerful motivator for peace building. The relationship between faith and violence is complex and often misunderstood. Throughout history, religion has been both a source of inspiration for peacemakers and a justification for violence. Understanding this duality is essential for navigating the challenges of our time. And it is important to remember that no religion has a monopoly on virtue or vice. Every faith tradition contains within it the potential for both peace and violence, depending on how its teachings are interpreted and applied. The vast majority of people of faith, regardless of their religious tradition, yearn for peace and deplore violence committed in the name of their religion. Interfaith dialogue and cooperation are crucial for building bridges of understanding and fostering a culture of peace. The pursuit of peace is not a spectator sport. It requires the active participation of each and every one of us. We must all be willing to examine our own biases, challenge our own assumptions, and reach out to those who are different from us. Education plays a vital role in fostering a culture of peace. By teaching our children about different cultures, religions, and conflict resolution techniques, we can equip them with the tools they need to become peace builders. We must also hold our leaders accountable for promoting peace and diplomacy. As we stand at the crossroads of history, faced with the daunting challenges of our time, the question remains, do we need a new crusade for peace? The answer unequivocally is no. The Crusades, for all their complexity, offer a cautionary tale about the perils of religious extremism and the human cost of war. We cannot achieve peace through violence, coercion, or the imposition of our will on others. True and lasting peace can only be built on a foundation of justice, equality, and mutual respect. The path to peace is not a crusade, but a shared journey. Let us embark on this journey together with open hearts and open minds, and strive to create a world where peace reigns supreme.